Welcome out there, everybody, to TSC Talks Weekly Update number 7. My name is Jill Woodworth, and I'm your host. Thanks so much for watching us. Today, I am going to give you the update on what's playing on the podcast. Right now, we have Sarah Hope. She is a microdose coach, psychedelic teacher. Her business is Forest Medicine Coaching. She's a mom who, a while back, decided to take her own health into her hands after being offered some choices in the traditional medicine area that weren't acceptable to her, and had learned about microdosing and decided to try it in her own kitchen, figured it out, and started teaching other people. And just a really deep and intense conversation that we had. And yeah, talking about some progressive stuff, but really an interesting way to get high at home. But you're not really getting high because it's not that. Anyways, it's hard to explain, but listen to the podcast. And before that was the TSC and COVID conversation hosted by Daniel Price. That is a really good look at the impact of COVID on those living with rare disease and in need of intense case management during the time that we didn't really have access to a lot of the traditional supports that they needed or we needed. So how did we cope and how are we coping? So that's what that is about. Really excellent podcast there. Coming up next, we have Kiara Juster, who's an advocate and an attorney. She's the head of government affairs for Oaksterdam University. Not going to go into detail about that, but pretty cool place. And she's involved with the Last Prisoner Project, which is talking about getting anybody who's been in prison for, things that are legal now that, like cannabis that weren't legal when they were arrested. It's really not fair to keep them locked up. And I'm totally making that way too simplistic. I apologize, Kiara. Anyways, also we have Carrie Lee, who's a green nurse from Iowa. She is going to talk about cannabis and mental health and tell a little bit about her own story. That's a great podcast coming up. And Allison Chapman, she's the legislative director of Health Choice for Action in Massachusetts. She's a vaccine injury advocate, and she is an educator on parental rights and vaccine safety. And we're going to have a chat about that, we had a chat about that, which is really great. So that is the podcast. I want to do a couple announcements. First of all, our partner in crime and head writer, awesome individual, Amora Alexandrino, or Korea, however you know her, she had a baby. Yes, she did. She had her baby Lucas. And he's not coming on the podcast yet, but I just wanted to say congratulations to Amora. We hope you are coming back soon. We miss you greatly. She did all of our show notes and press releases and social media. And yeah, so we miss her. And hope you come back soon. Also, let's see, our virtual holiday market. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, so I'm not going to talk about that right now.